Hello, it's me, Chris Christopherson. That's me, right there. Back with some Varangur punching elves in the face. Kaboom! Alright, back with some Varangur action. Played it a lot during 2016-17, back when Herja was the bomb. McNeil's pretty good. Not auto-include good like Herja was. She was my crutch for years. People used to think I was a good player. It wasn't, just McNeil was too good. So I've got in this list three battle groups, I guess. You got your foot sloggers. You got the anvil and the hammer of the snow trolls and Hurskals, staying stone to up their wave value, meter madness to essentially give them a 12-inch charge. Draugr just there for objective grabbing, getting in the way, making for uncomfortable movements and charges for the enemy, that kind of thing. We got the mounted Sons of Korgan with the Snow Foxes, acting as good old chaff to the hammer, There's no anvil here particularly, it's just chaff and hammer. But both have stealthy, which is great, and both have speed 8, which is great. And the Snow Foxes have Pathfinder and Nimble, and if they ever need it, they have Vicious too, on a 9/11 body. Pretty damn good for 80 points. Possibly the best chaff in the game. Maybe Trident Realms, what they're called, Tidal Swarms. Maybe just beat it. You let me know what you think. Tell me if there's better chaff. But I think they're pretty good. Ooh, maybe those scavengers from Empire Dust. They're pretty good. But Snow Foxes are pretty damn good. The Lord on Frostfang kind of goes with either of the two. Depending on who I'm facing against. If I've got a lot of foot troops, then I'm going to have face-offs between my 4 foot sloggers and somebody else's. And the Lord and Frostfang, with essentially a 15-inch charge, can just break up that stalemate and project that extra threat. On the other hand, if I'm against a lot of fast stuff, there's a lot of cavalry and flying around these days, then he goes with the Sons of Korgan, the Snow Foxes, and McNeil, just to act as an extra body to get in there, to block charges, just to generally be available. And you know what? That 9-inch very inspiring is more relevant more often than you think. For 215 points with the Dwarven Earl, I think he's pretty sweet. Lastly, we got the weapons battery that is the Magus Conclaves and the Inspiring Magus. My gosh, these guys can half push out some punishment. Like bolt throwers, you're relying on them hitting. That's anything, isn't it, really? But with 2 shots each, hitting on 4s, with steady aim, speed 5 and nimble, so they can move and fire, unlike bolt throwers. They got piercing 2 just the same, they got blast 3, D3 just the same, and the hit they take really is a little bit of defense. I think that's an okay trade-off, because they're stealthy as well. Did I forget to mention they're stealthy as well? They're just so good for 100 points. I think it's one of the reasons to take Varangur as opposed to Northern Alliance, There's probably others like the Draugr maybe, and Mountains of Korgan are pretty damn sweet, but Magus Conclaves are just awesome. The Magus are just tough because, it's a mobile Lightning Bolt 4 with a form of Elite. An extra inspiring there because, if he goes with the fast wing, there's nothing really to inspire the foot guys, so the Magus tends to hang out with the foot guys. Playing against James Mitchell again, because he's a good player and a good guy. He's been brewing Elves and trying some things, so this is a variation of thinking at the moment, so it's not a finished list per se, but it's what he's playing with at the moment. It's got the usual things you'd find in Elves, right? Like the Kindred Archer regiments that can put out more damage than you think. With Defense 4, they hold better than you'd think. With decent nerve for bowmen, they hang around longer than you think. Storm and Cav, cavalry just is everywhere in 3rd edition, isn't it? I didn't see a lot of it in 3rd edition, 2nd edition, aside from some armies, Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I didn't see a lot of cavalry going around. Maybe because Thunder's Charge is a bit shit in comparison to Crushing Strength. Hey, whatever. I only realised that Stormwind are only 14-16. What's going on with that, games designers? Why are they the same nerve as a unit of archers? I'm not so sure about that. I thought they were 15-17, so I may have cheated at some point. But, they've got the usual Striding Caterpillar combo. You got the usual boomstick lightning bolt dude, followed by a bane chant lightning bolt dude. I'd have found the points to put inspiring on him, but hey, it's the way it goes, is what James has taken. I think he's run out of points because he's taken the fancy Dragon Lord. Now, James describes it as a normal dragon, but you get, what, extra attack, extra nerve, you get brutal, you get an extra point of crushing, you get extra stuff, basically, that seems pretty good for the points you're paying. But when you frame it in the sense of you've lost a point of inspiring, and you could have perhaps put the 10 points towards an artifact somewhere else, then I'm not so sure it's that good. Tree Herdic has got Radiance of Life, so it's a nice chippy form of heal. He's an anvil, and he's a beatstick, and he's scoring. A lot of points for that, though, so we'll have to see how well that works. Bolt Throwers is my real big bone of contention. I'm just not a fan of them, you know? Everyone's Bolt Throwers hitting on 4s now. What's special about Elf ones? You know, you're paying 90 points for a Death 4, you know, 2 shots hitting on 4s. Piercing 2 with Elite, you know? And, you know, I know I've just exalted the virtues of the Magus Conclave, but mine are stealthy. Mine have got more nerve. Mine can move and shoot, you know? Bolt Throwers, you've got to set them in the right place at the start of the game, and the opponent then has to not avoid their arc. Not go into cover, stuff like that. I'm just not a big fan. But we'll see how they do. The game we're playing is Salt the Earth. It is an objective-based game, but at the end of your turn, if you were in 3 inches of an objective and you control it, you can destroy it. Therefore, nobody can score it at the end of the game. I got this wrong throughout the first few turns of the game, thinking you had to be touching the token, like a loot token, I guess, and it nearly ruined me. So we'll see how it goes with that mistake in mind. I get the first turn and think, I've got to push here. James has got a real fast wing here, if you pardon the pun. And I've got the numerical advantage. I've got to dictate what's happening on that flank. He's got an absolute fuck ton of shooting down here. It's no joke. So I've got to cross that gap quickly as possible and also try and aim my shooting at his shooting to try and neutralise it. But he's got so much, I'm just not sure if I'm going to be able to. Shooting does 3 points of damage onto the archers here, but doesn't get a waiver. No combat, so we go into James's turn 1. Had I kind of known, I could have maybe got rid of that token, and maybe even that token, because I'm going forwards, I'm not going backwards, like the Starship Enterprise. So, anyway, my mistake. James responds by making sure he's in charge range of some of my chaff, but my chaff is not in charge range of him. He's also in charge range here, but this declines to charge because he knows he's going to get super flank charged and it's going to suck. He does some cool angling here to make sure that if I do take charges, he can flank charge, and it's not a good day for me. The firing line lines up to do some damage, and kaboom! 8 damage from that. Flipping, dipping. On a defense 5 unit, that's not good. And waivers them. I mean, heck, you know, alright, maybe I'm lucky they're still around, but yeah, they're pretty much out of the game. I can't do nothing with those now. Yes, it's true, he's not destroyed them, so he's got to commit more resources to kill them next turn. But even still, that's a very good chunk of Varangur gone in the early stages of the game. No combats into my turn 2. And even though I can't charge these knights with my chaff, I can move at 16 inches and pivot with nimble to get in his way, you know, to chaff him up, to make it impossible for those knights to get around to where they really need to be. It's highly annoying. He could go backwards, but he's not gonna, because he's going to get double charged by stuff. So he's probably going to charge these next turn. At this point, Haja is like, right, I've got fly once a game. I've pinned down these guys with these guys, but I need to pin this flying motherfucker down. So she pops the flying, charges in. All she needs to do is 1 wound. I think I can rely upon her to do that. With this, there's no Troll's Retreat. I can't take this down here. I can't charge in. I can't hang around. I don't know what I'm doing. So what I do in the end is I can see I'm out of charge range here. So he's not going to get charged here. The Magus is out of charge range. And I can move the Draugr to be out of charge range as well. What I've also got, these guys are in charge range here. But the gap between them is not wide enough for the horde to fit in. Now, you might say this is gamey, you might say this is tactics. It depends on how you look at it. You could say it's really this unit is shielding and intercepting this unit as it goes about its business of trying to kill the snow trolls. Whatever. That's the rules. Suck it up if you don't like it. So I'm offering only one target, and it's not a great one. But that's the best I've got. In hindsight, I would have backed these guys up to try and get rid of that. But I forgot. And I also didn't obviously understand the rules for Salt the Earth well enough. So, yeah, mistakes were made. In the shooting phase, we do some damage onto here. Look at that, 6 damage with the Magus Conclaves. That's amazing. Some awesome shooting, some awesome hitting, some awesome wounding. We don't get the waver though. Hey, that's fine. Magus though, pow pow pow, does some lighting onto the boomstick guy and wavers him. So jobs are good one from him. He's going to be getting a good old bonus in his salary. Combat, Herja slaps some tits off a dragon. Puts 4 points of damage on. Job well done. That's it. Oh yeah, I popped the objective. Sorry, yes. At the end of my turn, I popped the objective. James's turn 2. Charges the Draugr. He might as well, because he's going to pivot round ready for these guys. If these guys then charge the Spearman, he's got the Tree Man. So he's doing fine there. You know, he's doing fine. He charges Chaff, as you'd imagine, and doesn't have many really good options except counter-charging to Herja. I mean, arguably, you might have backed up. I don't know. I think he probably did the right thing because he stands a very good chance of popping her and being in a relatively okay position. Yeah, shooting phase. Yeah, combined fire just gets rid of those guys. They're just, you know, they weren't long for this world. You know, they died in combat. They're, you know, honourable and all that. So, yep, they're gone. Into combat, and whoo-hoo, this was a seat of the pants moment. The dragon goes crazy. Does 8 wounds out of 10 attacks onto Herja. Rolls a 6 for nerve, +1 for brutal. That'll pop her just. Rerolls 5. Woohoo! Bit of luck for me there. And holds. Very, very, very fortunate. Sorry about that. Excuse me. What the flip is all this bollocks? Oh, fuck off. So, very lucky there. Very, very lucky. Yeah, the chaff, as you'd imagine, explodes, as does the Draugr, and there's some pivoting. On to my turn 3, and it is charge, because I might as well. Charge, because I might as well. This guy charging to here, because within 9 attacks, he stands a very good chance of killing them. I can see I've got a flank to the dragon, so in they go, slap. Herja withdraws, does have 3 individual pivots, and charges into the flank. These guys go in the front. I think there's going to be a triple boom here. Shooting phase, yeah, we finally get rid of that boomstick wizard. Bam, bam, bam. Very happy with that. And in the combat phase, we do 10 damage onto the spearman. Very respectable out of 18 attacks hit on 4s. Very respectable. Boom, we take out the wounded knights. Boom, we take out the dragon. But here, less lucky. 10 damage, you know, on a 14-16 unit. But wah, wah, we only waver them. Hey, you know what? Whatever. It's fine. Turn 3 for the elves. Can they come back from this? Let's see. Countercharge. Charging flank hindered. Countercharge. Nothing, because they are completely blocked in. Some movement there just to get arcs on, you know, shooting peeps and ranges. So the shooting phase, pow, 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 combined fire. 8 damage onto the Magus there. But, very lucky, James rolls low on his waver, and he's just wavered instead of routed. I'll take that. Combat phase, understandably, snow trolls go kaboom. And that is it for the elf turn. Varangur turn 4. I don't need to do that. You know, I'm intending for these guys to kill these guys, pivot round, and turn 5, go get a subjective. That's the thinking. So if anything, killing these guys with these guys will allow a free pivot that I wouldn't normally have got. You know, and destroy a unit at the same time. So its value could gel you. Herja moves into terrain to just make it harder to hit if there's any lightning shenanigans. The merciless warriors of the Korgan charge into the unarmed War Machine crew, as does the Varangur big man. The Magus tries to hide behind the hill from the spearmen, so they haven't got line of sight because the height 3 hill. The Magus Conclaves back up away from this mad bastard. Shooting, pow, 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 we do some damage. It's racking up, but not enough to wave them just yet. It's a start. Boom, boom, boom. Understandably, we destroy the wounded knights, and we destroy mercilessly the the War Machine crew. We do some pivoting, but not too much to get too close to these guys. Turn 4 for the Elves. James marches these guys up because he realizes he can get within 3 inches of the objective and destroy it, stopping me from getting it. Kudos. There's some movement shenanigans here. The way I've placed this guy stops him marching too much because he's actually ended within an inch of the Magus. So I totally planned that, and it totally wasn't lucky. Into the shooting phase. Yeah, the wizard just finishes off my wizard. It's a whiz battle, and Elves are just better. So there we go. Fair enough. Combat phase. Oh, sorry. There's no combat for the Elves. So my turn 5. Charging to these guys. I think they can take them. So this guy doesn't join the fight because I think it's better to spend the turn positioning, right? I reckon these probably want to shoot these guys next turn, so they're not going to move. So if I can get into their flank, I can probably take them next turn. That's going to force him to destroy his objective, denying him one, you know? So it's going to be close. I move up using Pathfinder to get that objective here, and then I think these guys are scoring and forget that they're Magus Conclaves and not Warlocks, and therefore scoring. So, bit of a boo-boo there. Let's see how it goes. Shooting, more damage, but we get a waiver, so that's good. Stops him moving on to the objective and getting it. Very happy with that. Into the combat phase, boom, get rid of him, but not overrunning or doing anything because of this big boy. Turn 5 for the Elves. Yep, understandably they stay still. They move up. Clearly wants to get rid of these guys. Totally understandable. The tree man comes up just to threaten. Fair enough. Shooting phase puts a point damage on, but not enough to kill. Heals a wound with Radiance of Life. My turn 6, I just shift these guys up in case the turn 7, maybe something goes on, you never know, do you? Herja runs up to give Inspiring. These guys charge up into the wizard to take care of him. Flank charge into these guys, and just kind of pussyfooting around there to shoot at these guys again. I'm thinking these guys are on 15, I can take them off this turn. Shooting does put some more damage on them and does waver them again, which is pretty good, but not enough to kill, unfortunately. We do kill the wizard and we do kill these archers here. Pretty good. Turn 6 of the Elves then doesn't consist of much. The tree man might as well charge into this guy just to have a fight, and does a few wounds to him. Nothing crazy. We roll for it and there is a turn 7, so we play on. I could have charged the knights in and probably would have killed them, but I think it's funnier to move up, rotate, and keep the objective. These guys move up, keeping the objective, charge there, and these guys move to shoot them. We do pepper them with shots, put them to 18 wounds, so I only need a 5 to waver them. But nah, wah. Double 1. No, not double 1, so we get a 2 or a 3 or something shit like that. So a 3 or 4, some shit like that. We waver them. So hey, at least they're not charging into these guys and killing them turn 7. But I'm not getting the victory points either. Some more combat action there sees a point of damage onto the big man. And in James's turn 7, some more damage and wavers this guy here. And that's the game. So I've got 2 objectives, 10-0 in the end. Didn't look like it would go that way on that flank. It looked like I was getting absolutely beaten raw. But, you know, Varangur are tough buggers. And those Magus Conclaves and the Magus, they just put the work in, you know? So in the end, 2-0, that's the victory point scores on the doors. I think my opponent played it pretty well. Maybe didn't push quick enough on the right flank. Maybe he shouldn't have gotten to 20-inch charge range of Herja. I don't know, maybe he should have, I don't know. You tell me what you think both of us should have done. I'm sure I made plenty of mistakes. Tell me down in the comments what I did wrong. Put me right. If you like that stuff, please share it, like it, subscribe it with the little bell thing as well. You know, all that YouTube gubbins. And I'll see you next time. Ta-ta.